You're listening to Modified Roll, part of the Potteration Network.
There doesn't seem to, just listening out, there doesn't seem to be any sort of commotion of like guard presence or sounds of footsteps just echoing through the halls, not even necessarily close to us, but just in general, apart from the commotion we started, we can't hear like mobilization or anything.
Give me a perception check.
Oh, that's terrible. That's only 3.
In which case, no, you hear nothing out of the ordinary.
Rain's going to look behind to the rest of the group and just say, 2 halflings manacled up. If I start picking locks, do you want to start looking through the door on the other side?
Okay, he's going to gently turn the handle. Is it locked?
Cool. So 3 things are going to happen at once here. Sinclair, I need a dexterity saving throw.
I'm great at that. Not.
Rian, what is your armor class?
My armor class is 16.
16, cool. So the 18 is going to hit. And then a door in the other end of the room is going to open. All of these actions sort of happening at once. Horwick is like stepped up beside you, Ray, and he's sort of glancing an eye over at these halflings and then like keeping an eye on this door. And as he's doing that, and as you've reached down, you've cupped this halfling's head in your hand, and you've said, like, we're really here to help you, and you prestidigitate the dirt away. A glint of something wicked and a smile creeps across the halfling's face, but not one of like joy at rescue, one of devious intent. And then his jaw clamps around your fingers. You take 3 piercing damage, and I need a Constitution saving throw.
Con save is a 17.
Oh, you're very lucky. You feel a burning sensation in your fingers, and almost immediately there's this like of these like red welts, like almost like red veins, like sort of expanding through your, like running down your fingers, but then just as quickly as they appear, they dissipate. And you watch with these teeth clamped around your fingers. You immediately notice that they are more needle-like than you would have expected. And even as you watch, the nose and the mouth of this halfling elongates, fur begins to sprout all along its body. You hear the cracking and tearing of bones and flesh as the 2 halflings in front of you, who were faking being manacled, slip their hands from their restraints and turn into wererats.
Oh, shit!
Quickly followed by as a lightning bolt arcs across the room, strikes both of you. Unfortunately, at this point, you cannot see any further into that room, but you can just make out the corner where this werewolf has pushed itself into, picked up this crossbow, and leaning against the wall and the table for balance, fires. You hear this guttural, animalistic, not quite a roar, not quite a squeal, but something halfway between the two, as you hear a splintering and smashing of wood from further into that room. And you watch as something comes barreling through it towards you, squealing and roaring and rushing, as you see it charge directly into Horwick. You see a half-man, half-boar as a wereboar comes barreling into the room.
Man, bear, pig.
So, charge. If the boar moves at least 15 feet straight towards target and then hits it with its tusks, it takes an extra 7 slashing damage. It doesn't know who's been dealing the damage, it's just going to go after Warwick. So, one hand holding a great heavy mace, the other... I was about to describe something really cool, and then I rolled like shit. Well, shit. The wereboar attempts to rush into the room, head lower, tusks out, charging straight at Horwick with this heavy mace raised above its head. But Warwick, having had plenty of time to hear the creature coming, braces himself, holds the axe up in front of himself, and the wereboar just runs head first into the flat blade of the axe, and just boom, reels backward, uninjured but dazed, as the mace in its hand, it swings wildly and just smashes into one of the pillars over Warwick's head. And that was its grand entrance, folks. Rian, it's your turn.
Yes, watching the rat that was far too close for comfort and biting at his way, suddenly cave in from the skull down to the neck and become like some weird turtle thing. He will look to Laura as she sort of interposes herself between the rat and him at the door, and he'll just look to her and just, getting out of here tonight, and we're getting out of here alive. Stay that way, okay? Back shortly.
Yes.
And
Go, quick.
yes, full movement through this door into the weapons room to find the bundles of weapons.
Yeah, so as you open the door, directly opposite the door in the far corner, you see sort of leaning haphazardly up against the wall are just these bundles. You can see the hilt sticking out of the ends. You didn't think anything of them at the time, but they're not in a scabbard, but they are wrapped up in this thick, heavy cloth. And as you pull them out, you realize there are 3 silvered short swords in here.
Okay, was there just one bundle?
Just the one.
Just the one, that's fine. Well, it's an action. As an action, I'll pick them up then. And
Free action.
Oh, you're a much kinder DM than I was imagining.
Well, I only threatened to kill you several times, but if you've thrown a dagger, it's a free action to equip a weapon, so you don't have a weapon in your hand. So by picking up the thing, you're essentially equipping one, and I'll let you just because you're not grabbing the others to winged, you can just grab the rest of them as a free action on your arm.
Cool. To do that, and then I will bonus action dash because I can, and I'll run all the way back to the room. Silver sword in hand, and silver sword in my hand, and 2 under the arm. And because that's it, I can't do anything else. But looking very pleased with himself towards Laura, having run in and run out with more weapons than he started with. She's like, "Okay, I think we can actually kill these things now." And we'll just offer a hilt towards Laura for when the time comes. But he is, yes, that's all I'm going to do.
Cool. In which case, it is the last remaining Wererat. Rian, it sees you come back with the weapons, knows there's no point in trying to stop you now, so it's just going to turn on Laura because you just fucking killed one of them.
That's fine. Bring it on. Let's go.
Stop rolling like dog shit. Let's see. You're a spellcaster. What's your armor class? Will a 13 hit?
Wait.
God damn it. These guys were meant to be scary! In which case, he, seeing Rain comes back, panics, seeing the weapons he's wielding and reaching one to you, Laura. It sort of spins towards you and tries to launch itself at you. But you see it coming. You manage to duck back out of the way as its swipes go wild and its jaws close short of you. But that is all it can do. Horwick, knowing you cannot hurt these things, sees that, Sinclair, you have now stepped up, you can hit them. He is going to attempt to grapple the wereboar.
Oh, hell yeah.
Nice.
Gets advantage because he's raging. Okay, so he's rolled plenty high. What's his modifier on this? Okay, 23. Good lad. Wereboar. Let's make a contested roll. Oh, very lucky that Warwick rolled well, because he also rolled well, but not well enough. Warwick has him grappled, and seeing what's happening, as hearing Rian come back into the room, he is going to pull the wereboar further in by moving at half speed to shunt him into the room while grappled, so that more people can get to it. That is his turn. Laura.
Okay. Laura is going to kind of look at the silvered blade being offered by Ray and just goes, "You know that's not really my strong suit. Give it to the others." And is going to instead... Let's go for another Toll the Dead, shall we?
I've also just realised I called you a spellcaster. You're a fucking cleric. You're sat there wearing chainmail, aren't you?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so just on the Wererat in front of me.
That's a natural one.
Oof.
Excellent news. Okay, that's 2d12. Let me just get those. I never roll d12s. I love it. Oh, okay. I got 12 and a 1, so 13 points of damage. Have I popped another one's skull?
The Wererat had exactly 13 health left.
Nice. Beautiful.
What's amazing? What is amazing is if these guys had genuinely, the Wererats have rolled above 10 twice. If they had rolled better, this could have been a very different encounter. At least two of you could have been fighting with the curse of lycanthropy. As it is, they are punching bags.
They are outlets for frustration right now.
The cookpot reappears, dong, 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 dong. And again, this crunching, cracking sound of a skull being imploded, blood spurting from mouth and nose and ears as the Wererat just crashes in on itself and falls to the ground, dead. Both Wererats out of the fight. Do you want to move? Stay where you are.
I am going to just quickly... just seeing if I've got any bonus actions. Hang on. There's a lot of things you could do as a cleric. Do I? I could. No. I am going to... Yeah, I'm going to move over here, so I have a bit of a better line of both doorways, just in case anybody else comes through.
Lovely. In which case, we're back to Sinclair.
Sinclair watches Horwick drag the pig into the room. He says, "All right, Horwick, hold him still, good chap." Takes a mighty swing. That is a 17 to hit.
17 hits.
For 13 slashing damage.
13, lovely. And with your magic weapon, it's going to take all of that.
And then he's going to rear back. He's going to rear back for his second attack.
That's right, 2 attacks. So the creature sort of wrestling and trying to pull against Horwick, again, who is tiny. The wereboar, again, not quite as big as you, Sinclair, is still large and bulky. Horwick has actually got both arms wrapped around one of his thighs, but as like sumo style, lifted that leg up off the ground so that the wereboar doesn't have balance and it can't sort of push against him, and it's just sort of holding him in that position.
My boy. That one is an 18 to hit.
Also hits. Roll some damage.
Oh, that was nice. 10. That's 15 damage. Slashing damage.
15. Got to make a short work of this guy. Lovely.
And Sinclair will stay where he is, and that'll end his turn.
Beautiful. In which case, Tego, we're back to you.
Tego's going to rush forward and is going to step... Oh, is the werewolf just gone?
He's hiding in the corner of the other room.
Hiding.
Well, he's still visible. If you were to stand in, I think if you stood like there, you could maybe see him. Let me have a look. Nope. There you can see him.
There's not going to work for what I was hoping to do because I'll hit Sinclair.
So I do allow moving through an ally space without any sort of reduction in movement, simply because it's 5 fucking space of movement. Even as tall as Sinclair is, he can just move a little bit to let you past.
Okay, so if I stand here, can I share that space? Because he's so big and I'm so small.
As long as you don't end your turn there, I'll allow you to take an action while you're there.
Perfect. I'm going to cast a lightning bolt.
Good God, why did I say that?
Comes from Sinclair's crotch.
Yeah, this is also, I'm going to tell you right now, overkill. Fucking Christ, rolled a 9.
All right, let's do that. 8d6.
Like I said, overkill.
30 points of damage.
What does it look like as Tego summons up his lightning bolt?
The kind of iridescence that was described earlier, I imagine, starts to glow a little bit and travel from around the face down the arms, and then just blasts out both hands forward in that 120 feet overkill that it can do.
That iridescent sparks and shines a little bit brighter, and even like nobody can really get a good view of you currently. Like you're under Sinclair's legs. Horwick is like face deep in a wereboar's crotch, but this werewolf watches as you step through the darkness behind Sinclair, and he watches as these shining purple eyes spark a little bit brighter, and then those sparks jump across the scales in your face and become stronger and faster as they spark and jump down from the tips of each of your scales, down your shoulders and arms, coalescing into this ball of deep purple lightning, and then fires across this tiny space between you. Explodes from him. You see the lightning arcing all over the walls, trying to find an earthing point as it hits all the stone around, shattering pieces of it from the walls. And when it stops, there is but a smoking, slightly on fire carcass of what was once a werewolf as it slumps to the ground, mostly exploded. For the record, 5 health left.
Oh, Jesus.
Tegel will look ahead into the room and just like internally, not out into the world, just say, definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. And then use the rest of my movement just to take the additional 10 feet back here.
Just because of the way that was done, I'm not going to give the werebore any opportunity attacks or anything. But Sinclair, I think as that spell was like powering up, you felt a very, very recently familiar sensation of like your hair standing on end, and for a minute there's like, oh no!
It's happening again!
And then you just see this lightning shoot out from between your legs. Beautiful. It would be the werewolf's turn, but it's fucking dead. Werebore's turn. Sinclair, it knows that you're attacking it, but it wants to get Horwick off. It's going to go for Horwick. Okay, so the tusks actually do also have the lycanthropy as well. I could just lie. I could just lie and say he hits. But I am so pissed off with these dice. He misses twice. Like a fucking chump. God damn. Yeah. Again, with Horwick like pulling his leg up off the ground, he literally doesn't have a center of balance to swing from, so it is very much that sort of like wild flailing. Like, imagine trying to headbutt your own shin. That is what it's essentially trying to do with Horwick grappling him. So then it gives up on that and tries to swing down on the mace, but Horwick just twists a little bit, turns his knee outward, and it forces the werewolf to like spin on the spot, so it cannot land a blow. Oh god, Rain.
Yeah.
You spend all this time grabbing some silvered weapons, only to return to find that they are bullying a werebore.
Watching this werebore being ping-ponged between two exceptionally mighty warriors that, despite what he assumed was going to be a hard fight, is now seemingly just pest control. He sort of looks around at all the different dead creatures and goes, well, everyone's having so much fun, I might as well get involved as well. Dropping the other silver swords, because at this point, who really needs one? He keeps one in hand, reverses it, and then sort of like a big arc runs towards the boar, and I'm just going to make an attack towards the boar.
Cool.
I need to remember what I'm... Yes, of course I am. Okay, that is a dirty 20.
Yeah, gonna hit.
Cool. So that's 9 plus sneak attack. So that's 9, 10, dropped, 16, 19 points of piercing damage.
Yeah, you cut into this creature with a silvered weapon, and having already seen the way it healed from the previous attacks, once again, the flesh tries to knit itself back together, but as the silvered blade of the weapon touches its skin, it sizzles and burns and blackens, preventing it from healing over, and there's just this cracked, ragged wound bleeding profusely now across its back where you've come in and slashed with the blade.
Yeah, as he sort of like with a big flourish, he kind of like does a bit of twirl as he goes, and then like brings it down, puts the back of his hand to the blade and sort of like sinks it through. He looks to both Sinclair and he's like, do you want to finish this one off, big boy? I've already started it for you. And I'm going to, because I can, bonus action disengage and move back this way.
Beautiful.
That's my turn.
Would be the Wererats. They're dead. Horwick, once again, still like buried in this thing's thigh. Just fucking kill it! As he's pulling, and like try to move along.
Right.
He is actually going to try and I believe you can do this without being a fighter. I believe you can just try and knock someone prone as a strength contest.
I think it's classed as a shove.
Yeah, it is a shove attack. Yeah, you can knock it prone or push it 5 feet away. So he is going to attempt to shove it because he's already beaten it in a strength contest. So why not? Ooh, not as good that time. That is only a 17. The wereboar is probably going to fuck it up. Right, how do the dice know? Like, how do they know when I'm rolling for an NPC and it does it well, but they just know when I'm doing it for the bad guys and it rolls like shit? He fucked it. He got a 9. So Warwick, like a sumo, just pushes up, pulling this creature's leg and just flips it onto its back, and there's a whoomph as it lands on its back, knocking the wind out of it, and it is now prone. So until its turn, all attacks have advantage. All melee attacks have advantage, ranged attacks are at disadvantage. Speaking of, Laura, it is your turn.
Okay, so Laura is going to approach this boar, kind of cracking her neck as she does, and releasing any tension in her shoulders, and kind of looks to Sinclair and Horik and just, do you mind? Yeah.
He just like huffs and puffs and gestures.
Sinclair will gesture towards it. Be my guest.
Thank you. And Laura kind of very delicately goes onto her knees and places out a hand, and into where some of the not yet closed sinew, just kind of places a gentle finger, and I am going to attempt to cast Inflict Wounds.
God damn. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So with advantage,
Yep.
because it's okay, so that is 15 plus 7, so 22.
That hits, yes.
Inflict Wounds is 3d10. I like clerics. Clerics are fun. That is 20 points of necrotic damage.
It is still alive, but you guys watch as this partially healed, cracked and ragged wound. Laura touches her hand to this, and this almost like a virulent spread. The flesh across its body necrotizes, splits and cracks and blackens, and almost seems to turn to ash as these gullies and almost like slash wounds sort of erupt across the body, cutting into it. And it roars in agony as this happens.
And kind of as she does that, and it's not quite dead, she kind of settles back on her knees. Oh, well, I thought Step was going to do. Somebody else do it.
Speaking of, Sinclair.
Sinclair goes, all right, I'll give it a go. He looks back, he winks at Rain, and then he draws his sword back and takes another swing.
As your gaze drifts down to the creature, focusing for the attack, you can see it is heavily panting. It is openly bleeding. These wounds and sores from the inflict wounds are weeping, but even still, there is just this spark of hatred and anger. It is not afraid. It is not going to beg for its life. It just wants to kill you. What did you roll?
19 to hit.
God damn. Yep, that hits.
Hooray! Right, let's roll some damage. Ooh, nice. 17 points of slashing damage.
What does it look like as you kill this wereboar?
Yeah, so
there we go.
To start with, as I said, Sinclair looks back, he winks at Rain, he draws it back as high as he can with his sword, and like he did to the Lich, he bisects it in two.
Made more impressive because this creature is flat on the ground.
Oh
so
yeah,
you'll
like
have to,
like a sushi chef. Just with the way he curves the blade in his hand.
Yeah, it swings down almost like as you step to the side of it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there is this almost the beginnings of a squealing roar, and then it's immediately cut off. And the two halves fall either side as the creature lies dead. And you guys have successfully dispatched all of the lycanthropes that were currently working for this organization. What would you guys like to do?
You said that was such disappointment.
I mean, I was just hoping there's going to be You guys took next to no damage. You got hit once.
I don't know,
Sinclair will
damage.
sort of do a bit of a stretch. That was a good workout.
Just bear in mind, I said I can lie. There's another combat coming. I can lie. Don't get too cocky.
Tego's hangover starting to pass. So we'll just walk up to the wereboar and kind of drag them to the side and then cast bonfire under them.
Yeah, this in the middle of the room, this wereboar is now in a conflagration as a bonfire is lit underneath it.
Well, that's it for this episode. Thanks very much for sticking with us. As always, thank you to Lixie B for our wonderful logo, Jeff for all the amazing artwork he creates that you can find on our online store, wonderful sponsors DN Dice and Arcanist Rum, links for both can be found in the description, Michael Gelfie and Monument Studios for allowing us to use their tracks in our scoring, and of course all of our wonderful Patreon supporters who have allowed us to continue creating additional content for the podcast. Your support means the world to us, and we can only hope that with your help we'll continue to make great content. The only thing is to say thank you so much to our wonderful guests once again, Dan and Han of Tales on Tap and Sam from Science and Sorcery. Thank you guys so much. It was an absolute joy running this game, and we have a couple more episodes left, so I hope you guys are enjoying listening to it. And finally, don't forget, if you're attending Dragon Meet this year, to come and say hi, and to make sure you check out D&D The Panto. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're all already really excited as the team are getting together to make their characters and come up with ideas, so it's sure to be another just brilliant time. So make sure to come and check that out. You've been listening to Modified Roll, part of the Podderation Network.
This show is part of Podderation, the nerdy podcast network. From D&D and video games through to ancient history and books of all genres, we are a group of podcasts all about things you can nerd the heck out about. We are currently looking for new podcasts to join the network, so if you know someone who wants to take their nerdy podcast to the next level, send them to podderation.com to get in touch.